make way for the SRK600. What is up, everybody? Let me show you something beautiful today. And here with me is a QJMotor SRK600, and this thing is beautiful. Come, let me show you this. QJMotor SRK600. This is a naked street bike, 600cc, inline 4 from the company QJMotor. As you may know that there is an Italian company by the name Benelli that was purchased by some Chinese manufacturer by the name QJ, and now they are manufacturing Benelli bikes from China under the QJMotor brand, and these bikes are beautiful and also very good quality. As you can see, what we have here is something premium, something very premium. As you can see, the feeling of everything, the feeling of everything, the quality of plastics, the quality of everything that is done here is awesome. And looking at this, if you have ever come across the Benelli motorcycles, you can see that is exactly what we have here. But this is an upgraded Benelli. I mean upgraded because some of the accessories these people are using on these motorcycles are from very reputable companies. Let's start by having a walk around of the bike. From the front, you can see that headlight. If you have any idea about motorcycles by the name MV Agusta, I'm very sure you have come across a headlight that looks like this. This is a naked bike, 600cc, inline 4. And you see, this is inline 4. Those are 4 exhausts. Okay, this is inline 4, liquid cooled. You can see it has a very big radiator over here full of coolant. This is an engine that is believed to produce around 81 horsepower. So this is not just a beginner bike. This is not a bike for everyone. This is a bike that requires quite some experience. 81 horsepower is a lot of power to have in your hands. 81 horsepower and around 57 Newton meters of torque, which comes quite high up, around 10,000 RPM, which means this bike is very friendly for slow traffic. I mean very friendly for slow traffic, because the bikes that produce so much power in the lower RPMs are quite dangerous when doing setted traffic. They are quite something when doing setted traffic. But this one is giving you all the power at quite some high RPMs, around 10,000 RPMs. So between 2,000 and around 6,000 RPM, you can learn very friendly kind of motorcycle within the city. Something I love about this bike is that it is coming with a keyless ignition. This is keyless ignition. As long as you have this around the bike, they are close enough for this sensor to sense them, it will just wake it up. You press and then the bike comes up on. You can see? Yes. You want to turn it off, you just press again and that thing is just done. You press once, the dashboard comes on, as long as these ones are close enough. So we are in the modern technology, the modern age of keyless entry motor vehicles. We also have keyless bikes. That's the kill switch, and then see? Yeah. So now, something else you are going to realize about this bike is the Brembo brakes. Look at this. This is not your normal front brake lever that you find in every other motorcycle. This one is a special master cylinder with this fluid reservoir, all from Brembo. You see the logo? This is Brembo logo. And they are controlling the front brakes, which are running under the Brembo calipers. So this front brake, the whole system, the disc, this one, the ABS, all the way to the pipes, coming up here all the way to here, this whole package is from Brembo. Very, very premium and also expensive brake system. Yeah, very, very premium. If you have ever come across anything that uses Brembo, you know Brembo brakes are the best. That's why they are used in rally cars, in supercars, the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris and everything. They use Brembo because this is a company you can trust with braking. And if you have an issue with your brakes, you can do some breathing through this. There is a nozzle over here. Okay, some bolt. You can unscrew the bolt like once, and then you press the brakes. You'll get some air out if you are having some airlock down there. Okay, you can breathe that one. You can also breathe the other side, and if that one is not enough, you can even breathe the master cylinder itself. So you have 3 levels of brake correction. If anything goes wrong with your brakes, you can correct them from here, or from this caliper, or from the other caliper on the other side. Going to the back, we have this. This is the rear brake. This is the rear brake, usual side. And we also have another brake, Brembo brake combination. We have this. We have the master cylinder over here. All the way these pipes coming to this place. This is the ABS sensor and Brembo. That's another Brembo. That's the Brembo logo. So this whole combination, together with the ABS pedal, the ABS sensor, all the way up to this place, another Brembo combination. So front and rear, all of them are from Brembo. Something else you need to note, this motorcycle is using very, very expensive suspension. Have you ever heard of this name, Mazushi? Have you ever heard of Mazushi? This is a giant Italian suspension manufacturer. Mazushi. Very expensive suspension system. Okay, so I'm talking about things that you find in this motorcycle stock from factory. It comes like this. This one is not a modified version. This is the stock version. We have Mazushi suspension, which is adjustable. Yeah, there is some knob to adjust the preload. We also have these two. You can unscrew them, make the suspension harder or softer. You can also adjust here. So this one is fully adjustable for hardness, for preload and everything. This is adjustable. Coming to the front, can you see this? This is Mazushi, same company, Mazushi. So the front suspension is from Mazushi, the rear suspension is from Mazushi. Rear brakes is Brembo, front brakes is Brembo. Just having said that, you can already tell what we have here. This is a very, very premium motorcycle. Very, very premium motorcycle. Full LED. We don't have any bulb, any halogen bulb on this motorcycle. Not even a single one. From indicators to headlamp to everything, including the brake lights, the rear indicators. We do not have any halogen bulb on this motorcycle. Not even a single one. Not even a single one. It's pure LED, meaning the amount of power this motorcycle drains from the battery for lighting is very, very little. Very, very little. Yeah, I mean it, very little. It's pure LED. The dashboard is a 5-inch TFT, which tells you a lot of things. And it's also a very beautiful dashboard. Simple, basic, tells you a lot of things. Tells you the fuel, the temperature, the gear, the speed, the amount of kilometers you have done, the check engine light, you have the oil pressure, the ABS. This has a lot of things that you require to know, including the clock. Right now I'm recording the video. It is 11:44 a.m. in Nairobi, Kenya, East Africa. The front suspension is also adjustable, as you can see this. Yeah, you can adjust for hardness and soft. You see both sides, it's adjustable. And it comes with this USB charger for your digital gadget need. Maybe you have a GoPro, maybe you have a smartphone that requires charging and stuff like that. On this side, just the normal switches, the engine kill switch, the ignition, and also the hazard. QJMotor and Benelli motorcycles have this habit of having their hazard switch on the right hand side, on, off. Just look at any Benelli motorcycle. You will realize that all of them have the hazard switch on the right hand side. Okay, on this other side you have the full beam, the low beam, indicators as usual, horn as usual. You have the horn down here, and we have the buttons that help you select stuff on the dashboard. Select, enter, select, enter. We have the path light over here. Yeah, the path light over here. Nothing much than that. Anything else you need to adjust, you adjust it on the dashboard. Okay, this is adjustable as usual, coming from the QJMotor and the Benelli brand. These ones always come adjustable. This part of the crash lever, this is from the QJMotor themselves, but the lever on the brake side is from Brembo. Okay, but this one is from the QJMotor. Nothing fancy, it's just some good quality adjustable lever. Nothing much than that. So this motorcycle is claimed to be around 230 kgs. Okay, around 230 kilos of a motorcycle, and it is a very, very beautiful motorcycle. Just look at this. Very, very beautiful motorcycle. Very, very beautiful. Okay, look at the quality of the pegs. Yeah, look at the quality of the pegs. Look at this. Look at the quality of the pegs. These are people who know exactly what they are doing. And something else that you realize from the QJMotor factory, they always put this lock here. If for whatever reason you need to open this cover from the magneto, the ignition magneto side, maybe you have a challenge with your charging system, you need to correct it. For whatever reason you need to open this side, you don't have to cut wires. A lot of other companies don't give you an opportunity to actually unlock something. You just have to cut the wires and do some stuff. But this one has a lock. This one has a lock. You just unlock it, remove this lock, and then you unplug. You can have this cover alone and leave the wires hanging. You don't have to cut any wires anywhere. They have tried to minimize the number of plastics that this motorcycle has. So you can see they have tried to minimize the number of plastics this motorcycle has as covers. Yeah, so that if this bike goes down, you don't damage a lot of stuff. And they have also given you allowances like this one to put the crash bobbins. You know those bobbins that come around here, the crash bobbins. Yeah, you can put some crash bobbins, or if you want to put some crash guard, you can mount some crash guard here. Yeah, and then you use this bolt over here. You can make something, you can make can make something over here, just protect the engine. They have given you this bolt and this bolt, and then you can run it through here to the other side. You're going to also realize you have this bolt, and the other bolt was somewhere here, yeah, and some other bolt down here. You can make use of these bolts. You even have other bolts here. You also have this one for the side stand. You also have this one. You can make use of this and make some crash guard if you want to protect the bike with some metal crash guards. But if you just want some basic bobbins, you have this. You can mount it here. You also have this. It is you to decide which bolt you want to use, but you have them just around here. It's not something that is complicated. It's just a fancy looking motorcycle, a very, very modern bike, and it makes a lot of sense to have this. Look at the headlight. Look at this beautiful daylight running headlight, very beautiful. And then when the engine lands, now you have this on. See? Very beautiful motorcycle. And the quality of the plastics, tells you they know exactly what they are doing. This is the same quality of plastics you have in Japanese motorcycles, and the tail is made of metal. You have this metal, some plastic here, some other metal over here holding the indicators. If you want to do some tail tidy, if you don't want this thing, you want to remove it and maybe mount your number plate down here, they have given you some bolts to do whatever you want. They have given you some allowances. These fellows know some people want the bikes without this thing. So if you want the bike without this thing, you can easily remove it with just unscrewing some bolts down here, and then you'll be done. This is a beautiful motorcycle. This bike is coming with a 15-liter fuel tank. This one is a tank covered by some fairings. So this is not part of the tank. These are the fairing covers. This is 15 liters of fuel, and the manufacturer claims that the bike consumes around 20 kilometers a liter, which could be good for a street bike, 600cc. So for the consumption average, I may have to take the bike out and do some testing, but according to what the manufacturer tells us, this is a 15-liter tank, although I understand there are some other variants of this bike. I think we have a bike with 16 and some other version with 14 liters, I think so, in different other countries. But what we have here is 15 liters and around 20 kilometers per liter fuel consumption. For the speed, they talk about 235 to 240 kilometers per hour as top speed. Definitely this is a street bike, this is a naked bike, so they are not really meant for high speed, because they are used is mostly for the urban riding. So they usually tune down the computer, the ECU, they tune down the motorcycle to produce a little bit less power than the sport version. Than the sport version. You could find that we have this 600, the super sport version, producing over 100 horsepower, but this one is producing 81. They have tuned this one down to actually be usable for the streets. Okay, that's what most manufacturers do, and it is, I think, a regulation globally, I don't know, something like that. They usually tune down their naked bikes to produce a little bit less power, but overall this is a good motorcycle from what I can see right here. Landing on 180 by 55, rim size 17 tires. Okay, and these tires are Supermax from Maxxis. Okay, Supermax from Maxxis. These are premium tires. Tubeless rubber premium tires from Maxxis. And I believe to the front you also have the Maxxis tire. Yes. Same tires from Maxxis. 120 70 by size 17 Supermax from Maxxis. Very good tires that you can do 18 to 20,000 kilometers. Yeah, like 18 to 20,000 kilometers. So for city commuters, that can mean a whole 1 year plus of riding without worrying about tires. So anything else you need to know about this motorcycle? There are some other couple of videos on YouTube. Some people have done highway tests on speed, some people have done long distance and other stuff. So you can just check it out on YouTube. I believe some people have done some longer videos about practical tests. For me, I haven't taken the bike out to the street, so I will only give you a review the day I'll have this bike on the street. So just keep locked and we'll talk about it. The QJMOTOR SRK600 is a beautiful thing, something I love. Simple design, very basic looking, but also very, very premium. Now where we are is at a point where I need to take this bike to the street and actually give you a review, practical review from the street. QJMotor company has been so nice. They just sent some merchandise my way, and as you can see, I have a very good hoodie, yeah, and also so welcome home QJMotors. This is Kenya, Nairobi. These bikes just came the other day. They are less than a month in the country. Let's see how far we can go with this. QJMotor, God bless you.